Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert English teachers here at E2 School. In this lesson, we're going to learn about did verbs, okay? Words like did, loved, walked, also called the past simple. So here is an example sentence with a did verb. Summer walked to school. Or Willie listened to music. Or Sylvia went to the city. So here are some common did verbs. Words like did, helped, listened, loved, played, passed, walked, wanted, and went. So this is what we're going to learn in this lesson. Specifically, we will learn the meaning of did verbs, how a did verb is used in a sentence, regular and irregular did verbs, and the three sentence types: positive, negative with a not, and question sentence types. Let's firstly look at the meaning of these did verbs. What do they mean? So if I say Sylvia went to the market, this is referring to the past, okay? And it's referring to something that has happened. It's over and it's finished. Sylvia went to the market. Or maybe I could say Grandpa George watched TV. And because I have used a did verb, I know that this happened in the past and it's finished. It's over. Or Joe smoked cigarettes 10 years ago. So that happened in the past and it's finished. It's over. He does not smoke cigarettes now, right? So simply by changing the verb, and instead of saying smoke, I say smoked. It has a different meaning and it tells you, the listener, that this happened in the past. Okay? These are did verbs and that is the meaning of them. Cool, let's do an activity. So if you're on e2school.com, you can do this activity on the computer. If you're watching this on YouTube, you just have to think about it. I will give you 20 seconds. What I want you to do is to choose the past sentences. So which of these 4 sentences refer to past? Okay, let's see the answers here. So Joe is playing golf. Is that a past sentence? No. Joe played golf. Yes, that happened in the past. Summer went to school every day. Yes, because this verb, this did verb, tells me that it happened in the past. Summer has gone to school. Well, that's a bit different. That's a different verb, and we'll look at those have done verbs in another lesson, okay? The specific one we're looking at now is happened in the past and it's finished. Okay, we'll get to the other ones another time. So how do we use a did verb in a sentence? Well, we start with a subject like I or you or Willie or a thing. And what we do is we add a do verb. But importantly, what we need to do to make it past, to change it into a past tense sentence, is we add ed. So love becomes loved, wanted, want becomes wanted, and stop becomes stopped. Then we need an object like her or ice cream or the bus. So our sentence says I loved her, or you wanted ice cream, or Willie stopped the bus, with a subject, a did verb, and an object, right? But this is the important bit here. taking a do verb like love and adding this to the end makes this past, okay? It makes me understand that this happened in the past. Okay, now you can do activity number 2 on E2 School. What I want you to do is highlight the subject of this sentence. Okay, hopefully you saw that the subject was summer. Let's now highlight the did verb in this sentence. Hopefully you saw or noticed that walked was the past verb, the did verb in this sentence. Finally, please highlight the object of the sentence. Just one word, actually. And hopefully you saw that school was the object of the sentence. Okay, let's look at the form of this did verb because there are sort of two forms. There's a regular, normal, usual form, and then there's another form where it changes and there's no pattern and you have to memorize it. So let's look at the easy one first. The easy one is that you add ed onto the do verb. So here we have the do verb look, and I add ed. And now I have a did verb. I looked at art. Okay? You looked at art. Summer looked at art. She looked at art. We looked at art. There is no change for the subject with did verbs, by the way. There is no change. So the Smiths looked at art. They looked at art. Okay? That's the regular form, adding ed to the do verb. So here are some regular did verbs. Helped, loved, stopped, liked, passed, looked, listened, played, walked. By the way, when you're saying these did verbs, you must say the end of the word. Helped, loved, stopped, liked, passed, looked, listened. Sometimes they change. The sound on the end changes, by the way. But you must say the final sound or else English speakers won't understand you. They think if you say look and not looked, they think you're talking about now or the present. You must say the final sound on the word. Let's do activity number 3. What I want you to do is to rewrite these two sentences and change the do verb into a did verb, okay? Okie dokie, let's check the answers here. So, recently, Summer passed her driving test. So we change past to past. B, when the Smith family lived in the past near the sea, they often walked in the past on the beach. How did you go with those ones? Hopefully you got that right. Now, let's talk about irregular did verbs. If you don't know what the word irregular means, please look it up in your dictionary and translate it from your first language to English. You need to understand the meaning of this word. It's an important word, and in E2 School, we'll use this word again and again and again. And if you don't understand it, that will be a problem. So please look it up. Okay, let's have a look at some irregular did verbs. So here's a sentence with an irregular did verb. So we have I. Then we take a do verb like go, come, or give, but instead of adding ed, we change the word completely. So go becomes went. Come becomes came. And give becomes gave. So there is no pattern here. We're not adding ed to some of these do verbs. Some of these do verbs are irregular. So then the sentence becomes I went, I came, I gave. Right? So I went to the shop. This is correct because we have an irregular did verb. I cannot say I goed to the shop. This is wrong. So this particular did verb is irregular. So here are some common irregular did verbs like did, ran, saw, caught, made, took, had, ate, and went. And if we translate these, or if we look at the do verb, well, here we have run, here we have see, here we have catch, here we have make, here we have take, here we have, here we have eat, and here we have go. So there is no relationship between the do verb and the did verb. They are very different words, and you just have to memorize them. I'm sorry, but you just have to memorize the irregular ones. There's no pattern. Okay, let's do an activity with the irregular did verbs. What I want you to do is to make a sentence using an irregular did verb. So it's not catched, it's not doed, it's not runned. Please change these sentences. Okay, let's look at the answers here. So Joe caught a fish. Catch, caught. Summer do her homework. Well, yesterday Summer did her homework. Peanut run away from Rocky. Peanut ran away from Rocky. They are the answers there. Let's now look at the positive, the normal sentence, the negative or the not sentence, as well as the question sentence. How do you make a question using a did verb? Let's have a look here. So, for a positive sentence or just a normal sentence, Joe walked to the shop. So, subject, verb, and object. Okay. If you want to make a negative sentence, okay, in the past, Joe did not walk to the shop. So what we do here, let's have a look. So here we have walked. Here we just use the do form, walk, but we add did and not. So it's actually this part here that tells me this is a past sentence. Did not walk to the shop yesterday, for example. And this doesn't change. So here, there is no ed on the end. Joe did not walk to the shop. And for a question sentence, we put did at the beginning. Did Joe walk to the shop? That's how you create a question sentence using a did verb. So let's think about this. If you got rid of this, Joe walked to the shop, but you must always put did Joe walk to the shop earlier, yesterday, last week, for example. This tells me you're talking about the past. Okay, let's do activity 5 on E2 School. What I want you to do very quickly is read each of these sentences and tell me which one is positive, which one is negative, and which one is a question. Okay. So this one is negative because you can see here we have not, right? This one here is a question because we have the did verb at the beginning and we have the question mark at the end. And this one is the positive or normal sentence type. Sylvia made a cake. Okay, what did we learn in this lesson? Well, we learned past tense we learned the meaning of did verbs. Remember the meaning? It's just referring to action that happened and is finished in the past. Something happened in the past and it's finished, it's over. I went to the shop yesterday. We also learned how to use did in a sentence with the subject, the verb, and the object, and how to change the do to a did verb by adding ed. But we also learned about irregular did verbs, particular verbs that have no pattern and no ed ending, and you have to change them completely. And lastly, we looked at the three sentence types, the positive, the negative with a not, and the question sentence type. If you want to check out E2 School, by the way, which is the best way possible to learn English, you've got to check this website out. In level 2, you'll learn how to ask questions using did. In level 3, you'll learn the difference between did and was doing. I went to the shop and I was doing my shopping. In level 4, you'll learn the difference between did and have done. For example, Joe went to the shop versus Joe has gone to the shop, and many, many more. So do sign up to E2 School. Cool. And by the way, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to this channel because we're going to be launching videos every week. So do become a subscriber to this YouTube channel. My name is Jay. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.